Alright, I'm Cody with Hitch to Hitch. So we travel full-time in our RV, and I'm doing a little maintenance today, so I figured I'd show you some of the stuff I use. I've seen a lot of people here lately asking questions about when they should do certain things and how often, and I'm going to show you what I do and what I use. Now, there's a bunch of different products. I'm not being sponsored by any of these or anything like that. This is just stuff we've bought and used and that I found out that works fairly well so far. I've got a list here of the things that we normally do. We do certain things once a month, and we do other things every 3 to 4 months, and then some stuff I only do once a year. But I'm going to show you the product and basically explain what I do with it.
Okay, before you get into that, let's show everybody what our views are.
Yeah, we're here at the Tetons.
Well, you just got to the Tetons. Okay.
Alright, so this is the first time I've used this, but it's basically a ceramic car detailer.
When you talk
And,
on the other side, does it go into the video?
So the boss man's, directing here. But, so anyway, I used this on the camper here this last time. It seems to have worked pretty well. It's easy to apply. You just spray it on, wipe it in real good, and then buff it out just like any other stuff. It's helped with the paint job on the camper here lately.
It's good for the campgrounds where you can't wash your camper with water.
Yeah, exactly. So, this is the slide out lubricant that we have. I don't necessarily have to use this because ours is on rollers and it's cables. So the cables pull the slides in and out, and it's just got a couple rollers at the bottom that the actual slide sits on. I do spray the rollers from time to time with it, probably about every 6 months just in case. But really, for my particular system, we don't have to use it. Now, if you have that Swing Tech or whatever they call it, it kind of looks like a zigzag, then you want to spray that stuff a lot more. But we don't have that. We've got the cable system. So I used the 3-in-1 RV window. Hands are a little dirty. But I spray that on usually every couple months. We open and close our windows quite a bit, so we usually do it every few months, and it works out really well. The rubber seal conditioner, I try to do that once a month just because the seals are always exposed to the sun, and it works out real well for those. But you basically put that on a rag and you just wipe it in, and hog eating the stick, stuff falling. But anyway, so you rub all your seals inside and out where your slides come in, and that helps out tremendously with that. It keeps them from sticking and all of that stuff. This white lithium grease here, this is something I use for the trailer hitch itself. So if you want to look, I've got the top part of the hitch off because I had to grease it. It was starting to squeak, and then where your rubber bushings are up top where Corbin's feet are, they sit in this hole, and this white lithium grease helps them pivot a little better without rubbing. So you can see the grease on it has actually dried up. So I got to spray that, and
It's some joint juice.
yeah, basically. It's not necessarily for the camper, but this is what I use in the truck, and it works really well. You can just go in there and spray the whole thing down and just wipe it down with it, and it smells real good. So that's just something I recommend for cleaning the truck. And it's leaking.
Ooh,
great.
So
I've got the 303 protectant here. This is for the tires. I use it for the tires on the camper and the truck, and it actually gives them a good shine. Gotta keep that upright apparently. So there you go. Look, if you buy one of those bottles, they leak, because that's the second one I've had leak. But spray your tires with it, and then you just wipe it in, and you're done. Now, that has helped quite a bit with the sun and everything, because I've put it on the truck tires, I've put it on the camper tires, and it does help keep them clean too. So after you get ready to wash them, like right now, we've gone down this road to go boondocking, and the tires are real dirty. If I just spray that stuff on there and wipe them, or if I go and use soap and water, it comes real clean. It doesn't leave all of that residue on there and things like that. And it doesn't make it sticky like some of the stuff does. Like if you use Armor All and stuff like that, it just attracts dust. It doesn't do that, so you don't have to worry about that. Another thing I do, I keep a spray bottle on hand just for various reasons. I've had to find air leak in a tire before, so you throw a little soap and water in here and you can spray the tire down. You can find it. I have an air system on the truck. I've had to find a leak with the air system with that. So I've used it for that. I can't think of anything else I've really used it for
Clean
at the
and
moment.
spray, huh?
Yeah, but not
anymore.
Not too often.
Okay.
All right, so tire pressure monitor. That's something I check every single time we leave. So I have a TPMS in the truck that is on the truck and the camper itself, but I always go and hit the trailer tires with this just to make sure it matches, because sometimes that reading is a little off. Nope, that's the air hose. Alright, so I've got a box or bag of rags, and I use these for various reasons. Gloves, keep those in the camper as well. That comes in handy not only for your black tank and stuff like that, but when you're greasing things. So this is another thing I keep with me, is a grease gun. So I have this grease gun. I'm always greasing the truck and the axles on the camper. The axles on the camper I do once a month. So with these Dexter axles, they have the Easy Lube system. So basically you can keep pumping grease into that grease nipple on there, and when you start to see the old grease come out, you can stop, and that way you know for a fact that you got new grease in there. Now they say what you can do is pull your tire off, pull the cap off, and you don't have to pull the hub and re-grease your bearings. They say all you have to do is pull the tire, the hub, and just put that grease fitting on there and just keep pumping grease till you see new grease completely come out of your bearings, and then your bearings are repacked and you just dispose of that old grease, you know, however you need to dispose of it. But that's what they say you can do with these Easy Lube axles. But basically what I do is once a month I go in there and I put grease in it until I start seeing grease move inside, or you can hear it popping, and I make sure I get plenty of grease in it. I do that for the front of the truck as well. So another thing I keep on hand too is a lap sealant for the roof. Every now and then you have something that, you know, the sun starts to crack it and stuff like that, so you can go back and put that over. I do have the Turn-on tape, which I am eventually going to go around and put tape around all of the vents and everything else, and that way that seals that really well. I just haven't gotten around to doing it yet. Another thing that we have that I change out about every 6 months, which it's got a date of use spot that I don't write in, but I do it about every 6 months, is I change out this water filter. We have this as a pressure gauge, and if you don't have it, I recommend it. We've got the quick connects, so I have that on the hose. I just screw this on at the campground. I can quick connect my hose onto the end of this, and I got a quick connect on the camper itself. So that's a good thing. I'm gonna read off my list, make sure I got everything. Another thing we do is clean the AC vents. So all your AC vents we clean once a month. You just pop them out. I take and spray a little bit of bleach water on them, set them in the sink for just a few minutes, and then use hot water and spray them out. And they usually come really clean. And then you just kind of fan them a little bit and set them somewhere to dry. That works out real well. The fan screens for up top, I do the same exact thing with those once a month. The tanks, I wash out the tanks, black water tanks. I usually try to do the tank flush, or the wand that I have for the back tank, being that we have 2 black tanks. I use the wand for that back one, and I do that at least once a month. Now we do have additional valve on the edge of ours that I had bought to put on the end cap, and then the cap goes over it, so I can use that to close it and use my gray water flushes back into my black tanks, and then I can re-dump them, you know, just from using my gray water. So that's why I wait till once a month to do that, because it doesn't build up. The seal conditioner for the slides, like I showed you, the window seals, the spray lube for the slides. I grease the axles once a month. The leaf springs, I do climb underneath and I check my leaf springs. Anytime we're driving, before, after, and sometimes during, I'll walk around the camper and I'll actually look underneath and make sure all my hangers are good and just make sure everything looks right. And since we have triple axle, I make sure all the tires are pretty close to the same distance apart and just nothing looks odd. The tire protectant we spray on about once a month. The trailer hitch I grease at least once a month. Generator. So the generator just cleared 120 hours. I did the 100-hour service a little early. I think I did it like 95 hours, being that we were traveling. That's changing the oil, checking the air filter, all of that good stuff. I do keep a little extra oil on hand just in case. But if we're not using the generator, I do start it up at least once a month and let it run for a couple hours just in case. All the roof seals, I get up there. Every time we leave, I get up there and I sweep all the slides off, so I check all the roof seals there. That's at least a once a month thing that they recommend, but I do it a lot more. I do it every time we move the camper, or probably once a week.
Yeah.
The AC coils up top. So you have to clean the AC coils in order to keep the dust and stuff out of them. You can buy the AC coil spray, which is like, I think it's like $10 a can or something like that, and it'll last you maybe 4 or 5 times. But depending on how much you use. But you can also use 409. I don't have any 409 right now. I used the last of it last time, and with the pandemic you can't find it anywhere, so we haven't gotten any yet. But just spray your coils, take the cap off of your AC unit or the top, spray it in your coils, give it, you know, a good bit, and then come back about 15 minutes later and spray it out with water. Just make sure you spray up and down with your fins. Don't spray side to side, because if you bend your fins, then the airflow can't get through there. So that's a good thing to do on the outside. Probably once a month during the summertime would be good. They probably recommend to do it a little, you know, every 3 months or something, but I tend to do things over. Let's see, drain water from the air tank. So with the air tank under the truck, because we don't use it very often, and the air building up and dropping, and then the temperature differences and everything, I always try to drain the water out the bottom of the tank about once a month so it doesn't rust out. Let's see. Oh yeah, this is the fun one. De-icing the freezer. So in our freezer inside, which is, it's time to do that again.
It is.
And it's only been like, what?
We did it before you left, so a month and a half.
So yeah, we're a little late on it right now. But basically, your freezer in the back, it just starts to build up with ice. So you have to get that ice out. Well, we found that if you use press and seal, that
you line the back of it.
Yeah, it works a lot better. So you use press and seal, you line the back, just put you a couple pieces across the back, and then you can put your shelves back in and put your shelf against it. It helps hold it up. But what that does is it lets all the ice build up on the outside of the press and seal. So when you go to take the ice out, you don't have to sit there and chisel it or any of that stuff and wait for...
Or fully defrost the freezer like some people do.
Or wait for the freezer to fully defrost or anything like that.
You don't do
just
that.
Grab the press and seal and you pop it out, and then you clean all the ice out the bottom, and then you put new pieces in. It's a 5-minute job max, and you're good to go. So that's a good tip there. We do have a video on that as well.
And it helps us because we keep inventory of our freezer. As we put stuff back in, we know what we have at that point.
During the summertime, I try to run the furnace once a month just in case. Not for a long period of time because it'll heat up quick, but just try to run it. The water heater, the anode and the water heater, they say to change that out about once a year. You could actually unscrew it and check it and see if you need to change it out. If you need to change it out, they make a little thing to flush it out, but you can also take a water hose and just put the water hose in there just a little bit, or just fill it back up and then pull that plug back out and let it drain.
But we did change it after our first year.
Yeah, we changed ours at a year, and it wasn't bad. It probably could have got another 8 months out of it at the rate we were going. So Flex Seal, we did Flex Seal on our side porch and our back porch around the top to try to keep water out of it. Brittany's got that written down as we need to
do it again
every now and then. Yeah, it did start to crack on that side porch, but that helps keep water out of the porch itself, because we have had to have that changed out with the dealer, and that was an extreme pain. The other one was changing the water filter. So basically, that's about all we do. If you have any questions or concerns, or if there's something you think I missed, let me know down in the comments, and I'll answer any questions on how I do things, or if you need me to go
why
in
you
depth
don't
on
do
something.
things.
Yeah, or why I don't do other things. But I believe that's about it. Dog passed out under there. So,
Okay.
but if you like the video, please subscribe and give us a thumbs up.
What are you supposed to say, Corbin?
Hit the like button.
Hit the like button, ring the bell if you like our videos. See you